Mr. Bob Gimlin.
And right now is the perfect time to sing happy birthday to Bob.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you.
Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mom. See, it says there, dog mom.
Yep, it does.
Dog mom in the paddy wagon.
Yep. So, hey, everybody. Welcome. We're going to kind of an interesting show, a little bit different tonight. We're going to be talking about what went on in the last conference we were at. It was fun, and a little bit about the Patterson Gimlin Film stuff because Bob Gimlin just turned 91, and the Patterson Gimlin Film is 55 years old, all in the same month here. So this month. So yeah, we were lucky enough to get invited to Bob Gimlin's birthday party. They had another one at the conference the next day, but we got the up close and personal one, I guess you could say.
We got the VIP one.
The VIP
one, where they served the best adult beverages.
Yeah, it was at a bar.
Yes, I will just, let's see. 3 words. Peach bourbon cider.
Yeah, there you go. So, let's see. Okay, let's see.
Go back up in the chat. Let's see who's
here. Hi, Michelle, and
we got Joe, Squatchy Cowboy,
yeah,
and Uncle Bones too, and Michelle, Scott, Patty, Donna, John, Long Guy. Yeah, the Peanut Gallery's
Long
all
Island
here.
Bigfoot. Nice to see you again. You were in the chat earlier.
Scott.
I think Uncle Bones was too.
Yeah, Scott was in. Scott Dunbar was in there,
yeah.
And yeah. So I don't mind pitchy. I pitch all the time.
So
yeah. Anyway, Papa's in the house.
Hey,
famous people are here with us.
Oh,
that's so
good.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, Scott, you will. I found that I at least once a week I find my dream house in the North Main Woods, and this week it was in East Millinocket. Anyone's dream house could be in East Millinocket. I don't know, but I found it.
Okay. Oh, and hi, Donald Fuller. You were in the chat earlier.
Roger.
And Pop C. And Flat Rock, you were in the chat over there.
My gosh, what do you guys do all day long?
So, yeah, that's funny. So where do we start? Where do we even begin?
So I think we need to begin with some shout outs, because who knows who's watching this. I want to really shout out Trina Cloyd and Mel. How do you say his last name? Mel Skahan. Mel Skahan and the Yakama Nation. Mm-hmm. They put on, I mean, this was a first time round. They were supposed to put this thing on last year, but of course, all the current events of the last few years got in the way of everything and everyone. So this was the long delayed, much awaited first annual Yakima Bigfoot Con that was held on the Yakama, in the casino on the Yakama reservation. Mm-hmm. It was a stellar event. Absolutely fantastic. The speakers were good. The venue was brilliant.
It was awesome.
It was a 1-day event. They crammed about 3 days worth of content in the 1-day event. But it was phenomenal. They treated their guests, so we were guests, they treated all the guests like royalty. It was, Scott and I come from a multiplicity of backgrounds, but one of the things that we've been heavily involved in is event planning and production and management, and they did a really good job. It is hard to say that. A lot of cons and festivals we go to leave a lot to be desired, but this was really, they did such a good job. It's one of the best I've ever been to. Hey, go up here. Roger, yes.
Yes, I remember you, Roger.
Yeah, I didn't know your name, but I remember the Australian that spoke to us.
Yes, okay. Yep.
So it was so wonderful, and they're hoping to go 2 days next year.
Yep.
So if honestly, I see, yes, Donald, you're full-time armchair researchers, yes, but even armchair researchers, you know what? If you can, I don't know, make arrangements now to plan to, if you want to travel somewhere for a good conference, this is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and
yeah, and it's kind of interesting, and there was, I don't want to say some interesting complaints, but I want to talk about that too. I've heard some people were complaining it was at a casino, and the casino was alcohol free, which is kind of weird for a casino if you think about it. But to give you a little background, having worked with the Native American culture most of my life, is that a lot of the all over the United States, not just in Washington, there's a lot in Alaska, but a lot of the reservations are alcohol free. So
yes, the adult beverages of which those adult beverages I alluded to, they were not on the res.
No, we were at a bar, in Yakima, in the town.
A really nice one. Shout out to, the Beer Den, Schaub's Beer Den in Yakima. Awesome.
Yeah.
Go get your dinner there. Tasty. Anyway, back to what you're saying. Sorry.
So back to what I was saying. Hey, Dale and Mr. Lee 3PO. So a little history is, a lot of people don't know that the Native American genetics are kind of not very tolerant to alcohol. They have a
almost
proclivity to become alcoholics pretty easy.
Like an allergy.
Yeah, it's almost an allergy to their system. So that's why a lot of the reservations don't have alcohol. And plus, it's kind of a sore spot in some times. If you think about it, the U.S. government used to send them alcohol to keep them
docile.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of the tribes don't allow alcohol on the reservation anymore.
With that said, I mean, if that was the only complaint, well, you're not going to get plastered anyway.
Yeah. So that's it.
But the food there, the food there was awesome. We were supposed to go to a seafood buffet on Saturday night, but we were just too shot to do it. But there, I mean, really, really great service as far as, being guests at the conference, but just the casino's staff. I mean, just wonderful place. And if we're ever going through Yakima without our tow behind home, if we have to stay somewhere, I would pick that in a minute. Yeah.
So we're so I have a little 2-minute video I threw together from some of the people some of the people we met at the conference. And this conference was, of course, Native American heavy,
which was awesome.
And I learned some Native American Bigfoot cultural things I'd never heard before. So I'm going to throw that up real quick. So here
always hides it behind its arm while it's moving about. It'll come onto our beaches at night at low tide, and with its feet it'll feel around. It'll reach down and it'll pick up totally tacos, and it'll smash them together and eat the meat, and it'll move and go about and do more, harvesting away. But what? It's our little person, our stick person. With a basket, with a sack, like a potato sack, rolled out of spruce wood from cedar fiber, that the tuna will come and grab misbehaving children. Watch out, you kids in here, because tuna was watching all the time. If you misbehave and you act up, you don't listen to your parents, your elders, you don't listen to the guy on stage talking, so the tuna are coming.
Good afternoon. Shakmatwa, Ignash Malikshas Tima, Ko Koyama Tinuk, Su Ilish. It's proper to introduce myself in my language, especially when I'm on anybody's Indian land, especially our own, and pay respects to family and friends that are here. And I'm just grateful to be here today. It took Mel, I think, approximately 17 years to get me to even start talking about Bigfoot in public.
All right, so that's some of the cool guests they had there that we got to hang out with. It was
My
a lot of
favorite
fun.
was Tobe.
Tobe, Tobe from the Al Moon Project. If you're familiar with Tobe,
He's as woo woo as I am.
yeah. So, yeah, that's yeah, that was the thing. His booth was actually right next to ours, so we sat there all day in the conference and just chatted with Tobe.
Yeah. All right. So that was the conference, and I love one of the things that I loved as a sociologist, social worker, someone who studies society. I love that the Yakama Nation has not allowed, it's not about let, but they have not allowed their language to die.
Yep, that's one of the few.
That was brilliant. And I was just like, I love the Bigfoot dance and the mask, and I love all that.
Yeah.
I love all the stories. The stories are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Even I'm going to scoop up the children and take them away.
Yeah. So that tells you a little bit about some of the Bigfoot legends. Yeah, it makes you wonder if they are, boogeyman stories that they told their children. You never know. But no, my brain, that was the, what's it called? The Native Island? Yeah. The speaker for that, him and his wife, who does the dance and stuff. That it was very interesting.
There were so many things, and I hardly took any pictures. And Scott was kind of giving me some grief over that, because usually I take a lot of pictures, and I was so engrossed in what was going on, I hardly took any pictures. And so anyway, the selfie queen was off her game.
Yeah. So it was kind of fun. We got to do that dinner the night before with everybody. And there were some other groups there that I didn't show, that we failed to get pictures of. That was the problem.
In case Dave and Linda are listening, we met a great couple named Dave and Linda from Richland, and they're getting ready to go full-time RVing too. So we got to hang with them for a bit. That was fun.
Yeah.
Just, people.
Yep. So what was I going to say?
I don't know. Do you have menopause brain?
I do.
Menopause brain?
Menopause brain. What was I talking about? Anyway, no.
Native Island.
The Native Island. So there was a lot of people there that that's what it was. We had the Bob's birthday party at the bar the night before. Then we had it again at the conference, all the speakers during the conference during the day. It was pretty awesome. But then we also got to have breakfast the next morning. What are you doing?
We had something to show Joe from that birthday party.
Oh, Joe's on.
We have something to show him.
Oh, by the way, Joe from the Squatch and Cowboy, I did get you a piece of Bob Gimlin's birthday cake, and it was delicious. Just letting you know. I didn't think I could mail it to you, so I just would show you a picture of it. There you go. So there's that.
Anyway, back to what you have now forgotten you were talking about.
No, I haven't. No, but what was really cool is all the speakers the next morning after the conference.
Mhm.
They had a buffet at the casino set up for us, and we all got to sit at one big table. And oh my gosh, it was a brunch at 10 o'clock. We got there at 10. I don't think we left till 2 or something. It was forever. But what was cool is we sat there and just jabbered and swapped stories and showed pictures that we found from all the speakers together. And it was that was the conference for me. Was to get to talk with some of these people.
It wasn't the all you could eat breakfast buffet.
Oh, that was good too. They had fried spam
and fried bread
and fried bread. There you go.
And chicken and waffles. What is somewhere in Yakima, Washington doing with chicken and waffles? That's like a Southern thing.
That is a Southern thing. So
all right.
There's
Brown Dwarf says, Scott, rad short documentary up in Blue Mountains. You talking about the one that Travel Oregon made a few years ago?
Probably the one. That was the one Travel Oregon did for us. That was pretty cool. Yeah, we're actually working on making a new one. So, in fact, we're time for an ad. Let me throw something up real quick, and I want to talk to you guys about something that's coming up before we go on with our stuff.
Yes, and if you are anywhere in the Oregon, Washington, Idaho, even Montana area, this may be of interest to you.
Yeah, so if you can get here, if you look up where Tollgate is, it's between La Grande and Walla Walla in Oregon. And if you look up the Alpine Outpost at Tollgate, Oregon, it's a one-day thing, November 12th from 10 to 4. We're going to be doing a little little mini Bigfoot conference with us, and we're going to be sitting and talking with you guys. And I got permission actually from Michael Freeman,
another favorite person of mine.
Yeah, so to show the enhanced version of his dad's video that hasn't come out yet. So we're going to be showing that there. But what's really, really cool about this is if you don't know where Tollgate is, it's like about 15 miles. 15
very long and bumpy miles.
Long and bumpy miles through the mountains to the Freeman film site. I mean, we were right there. We were right there where it happened. So there's that.
There will be, the event is free. However, there will be a lunch for purchase. He's going to be doing some burger barbecuing, and we'll have
really good food there too.
We'll have whatever swag we have left in our inventory to sell.
Yeah, and another thing, in the Tollgate Alpine Outpost, it's a store, bakery, and restaurant.
Oh, their baked goods they would be the death of me if I allowed them.
Yeah. But if you go in the store, on the wall, they have a bunch of Bigfoot casts, originals screwed to the wall that a lot of people don't know that's there. But if you go there and you go in the store, there is the Dermal Ridge cast from Paul Freeman. The one that's on the wall was actually a copy made and signed by Grover Krantz on the back of it. And it's just bolted to the wall in the restaurant there. It's kind of interesting. But so if you can get there, that'd be awesome. But here's a kicker that only you guys know because you watched this video. We are actually going to be there on Wednesday. So we're going to be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The thing is Saturday, and then we're going squatching Sunday with whoever wants to come out with us. We're going to go up to the Freeman site, and then we're going to leave on Monday. But if you're there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, what we're going to be doing is we're setting a little video recording studio up upstairs in the Alpine Outpost, and we're going to be filming people's stories. We've got about 12 people lined up already who's had sightings or encounters in the Blue Mountains right there near the Freeman site. So we're going to have that happening, and cross our fingers. We're trying to get her a ride there because she doesn't drive, but we're trying to get Dar Addington there. If you don't know who Dar Addington is, most of Paul Freeman's research the handwritten notes that happened while he was casting Prince, they're in Dar's handwriting. She was up there with him and with who's that other guy? Wes Summerlin. Both of them, she took all the notes. And when Michael Freeman's book comes out, one of the chapters, she wrote it. So we're trying to get her up there. We had dinner with her Monday night and talked to her. And that was a lot of fun. So if you can't make it on Saturday, we're going to be there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you want to come up and just hang out, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, famous people. I'm dropping stuff in the chat for you.
There you go. So there's that little break over. And Hannah's typing, so I can't jump to the next thing. So
just talk.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. So
I can see you, Lockbeard.
Mm-hmm. What?
He thinks he's been censored.
I haven't seen any. Well, we'd have to be on YouTube to see if we got any censored chats in there.
I can see him on there. Anywho,
so one of the things I wanted to talk about is this crazy Freeman film.
Freeman?
Or I meant Freeman. I've been talking about the Patterson Gimlin film. So Hannah and I have actually been to Bluff Creek. And so we actually got to talk with Bob quite a bit on Friday night at the conference. There's only probably 50 people there, and half of them weren't Squatchers, so half of them were just people in the bar, didn't know what was going on. So we got to hang out and talk with them quite a bit. And by the way, Bob's wife is nicer than he is, and he's a really nice guy.
Oh, she's golden.
She is awesome. But what I want to do is I wanted to touch on this film a second, and I'm going to play a clip. And what I want you to do is we're going to look at how it walks, and then you tell me what you caught. All right, this is one of the things that nobody seems to catch right off the bat, unless you've been doing this for a while. But or you read that book called When Roger Met Patty by Bill Munns. But if you looked at how it walked, every step it took, you could see the bottom of its foot straight up and down. So a lot of people don't catch that. Humans don't walk like that. The knees never lock, and it's got its foot straight up and down, and then it steps forward, and the foot hits the ground flat every time. That's one thing. And if you saw the point where it was walking, I had that line drawn. If you noticed, the shoulder didn't go up or down over the line. So, and Mr. Lee Piro said it. He said, it has a weird booty. So it does.
You'd need a booty like that to support 800 pounds.
You do. So a lot of people never catch that. The fact that it's the way it walks. It's not the fact that it's walking across there, or even that they got the video. It's the fact that if you see how it walks, it does not walk like a person.
It's not an it. It's a she.
It's a she.
So she does not walk like
She does not walk that way. Patty doesn't. So
Patty
Squatch-
does got back, yes.
There we go.
So look what Donald says. I know you're going to break this down because you're going to wax all anthropologically profound, but Donald says they do walk that way when you're wearing feet that are as long as scuba flippers. So why don't you talk to us about why they walk like that?
Well,
go all Jeff on us.
No. Okay, so when they step flat. When Patty steps, she steps flat. And I understand what you're saying. If you're wearing flippers, you're going to walk like that. But the problem is, when we step forward, we put our heel on the ground, we rock across and come off the front pads of our feet, or come off our toes and push forward. So when you're looking at the footprints, when they step flat, the foot bends in the middle, and then they push forward with just the front half of their feet. So the front half is pushed down further than the back half, and then the toes are the last thing to come off. So you got to put the walking pattern together with the footprint casts. So if you look at it, it doesn't hit the heel and then off the toes. It hits flat, bends in the middle, and then off the toes. So that's something the human foot can't do, is that lever in the middle like that. And the toes are very articulate.
You know what I'm going to do? Next time we see Dr. Jeff, I'm going to ask him a question that I'll probably never escape from. He'll never stop talking. But as you were talking, I was thinking, so we always talk about how Bigfoot has the mid-tarsal break versus an arch. There are humans on the planet that are flat-footed, that have little or no arch.
Yep.
And my dad was one of them. When he walked, he thumped.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm very flat-footed myself, and when I was learning to walk, they stuck me in crazy shoes to get me to walk normally because I would tiptoe. I would never heel toe it, and they were really concerned about it. And so that's probably why I never ran as a kid, because I didn't know how to heel toe.
Mm-hmm.
And so can you speak at all to that about flat-footed humans? Do they walk similar? Because I know my dad thumped, whether he was, when he was morbidly obese and even when he was lean, he thumped.
Right. And that's something we get reports on. When people send us reports that said they heard the boom, boom, boom. In fact, I had a guy in the sportsman shows last year, an actual outdoor guide who spent most of his life in the woods hunting, said that he was calling an elk, and he heard this coming through the woods. Boom, 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 boom.
Let me type.
Okay. There we go. So
talk. But I'm just wondering if flat-footed humans have a similar, maybe not exactly the same, because even flat-footed humans have a slight arch, but if they have a similar gait to Bigfoot because of whatever reason, I don't know.
Okay. And Brown Dwarf, yes, we did go to the Willow Creek. Actually, when we were there, it was closed for the season, but we got a hold of somebody and they let us in. So we got kind of a little private
tour. We have a video on our channel about that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, there's a video you can find on the channel about Willow Creek. So here's something very interesting. A fellow researcher and friend of mine who's been on the show, and he's going to be on pretty soon too, Greg Roberts from Medford area. When he heard I was going to Bob's birthday party, he said, "Hey, could you ask Bob a question for me?" So I did ask Bob a question for him, and here's Bob's response. Now, it's a little weird because we were in the bar and it was really loud, so I tried to fix the background a little bit, so it might be hard to hear, but here we go.
The question is, when you guys went back and cast the prints the next day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they different size prints?
Well, there was some different size prints there, but the same ones were there too, but see, there was a trackway of what I thought was female, because they were longer and narrower, and it appeared to be a young female that was making them. And I followed them for almost a mile down through the sand there by Blooming Lake. And and they disappeared down into a little creek and up the other side and into the woods. And so I didn't make that jog down in there, because I didn't want to walk through the creek. The water was about that deep, and so I just let it go.
Okay, well, thank. All right, so I don't know if anybody's heard that story before, or if anybody's ever asked him that question, but he just said that there was 2 sets of tracks that they followed after that sighting. So what does that mean? Was there a Bigfoot they never saw? Or there was always speculation that there was a younger one, and he said another one was narrower and which he thought was a female, and Patty was a female, but it was kind of alluding to the fact that he thought there was a second female that they followed for almost a mile after that. I'll say, Brown Door says, I know the guy who made Bob's Fendit. Yeah. Makes him out of abalone. That's awesome.
Okay, so there was that. Keep moving. Don't get caught up in the comments.
No. Scott, the other tracks were Jesus. That's funny.
Footprints in the sand. I
Yep.
know that poem.
So
we're still pretty early. Do you want to talk about our fundraiser, which is coming to a close?
Yeah,
now?
So we just got a few more days. Patty, did Lockbeard get blocked from our channel? I don't think so. You want to?
I don't know. She's asking Lockbeard, did I get blocked from your channel? She's asking Lockbeard.
Oh, okay.
Just let the peanut gallery peanut.
Okay, yes, you guys.
So go back up to brand.
What are we doing? Oh, so guys, this is our, where'd that go? Right here.
Right here. We're in the last few days. How recent is this picture?
It's still the same amount. Yeah.
No, I meant.
There's only like 5 or 6 days left.
Okay, there are 5 or 6 days left on our rooftop tent fundraiser. We are actually up to $350.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll throw that up again. I will probably send out an email this week. If we don't make the full amount, we're just going to throw what we have into a special account and keep working towards it.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
So the link in the description below, if you want to donate, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So
we did really well at the con, but this time every dime we made went to pay for stuff.
Yeah. Stuff like
diesel. Like t-shirts and diesel and
yeah,
and magnets and merch.
Yeah, our
all of our suppliers have raised their prices.
Yeah,
go figure.
And plus it was I think we paid $5 and
I think $5.11 was the
cheapest. What was the most expensive? It was $5.70 something. Yeah, for diesel. It was crazy.
Okay, so let's see. Keep talking. What else?
So any questions for us? Or I mean, I talked with Bob for a while, so I got some inside information. That was the only thing that I actually recorded with him, because it was so loud in there. We also got to hang out with the she squatchers for a while, and
there could be some exciting stuff collaboration with them coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, we're working on a collab with them. But there's something else great happened on this weekend is Monday night we had dinner with a bunch of squatchers from the Pendleton area, Pendleton, Oregon.
Northeast Oregon Blue Mountain
Bigfoot research.
We met Mike Casey, who's on tonight.
Yeah.
Mike, this is why you have to get that Saturday off.
Yeah.
Dar needs a ride.
Dar needs a ride. So
I feel her pain. She does not drive at night, and neither do I. Yeah, he's in there.
Okay.
Bigfooting with Mike Casey.
Okay. Yeah. So, but like I said, Mike, if you can't get that day off, remember we're going to be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you get a chance. I saw another question. Scott, did we have any action in Bluff Creek? No, we did not. Which is 90% of bigfooting, by the way. So
there has never been action in Bluff Creek since then.
Oh yeah, there has actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not publicized.
Not. So anyway, there's that. There's some folks, in fact, what's his name? The ex-BLM guy that's Kip Morrill.
Kip Morrill. Yeah. Oh yeah. We need to get him on.
Yeah, he's been on, but
has he?
Yeah.
Was I?
No, you were there. So Kip Morrill, another Bigfooter and friend of mine, who's also an RVer who lives full time in his RV like we do, but him and his wife. But they're part of the Bluff Creek project, and what's really cool is they've got down at the Bluff Creek site now. It's almost set up like a tourist trap, sort of, but they've got it all mapped out. So when you go down to the Bluff Creek site where that was the video was taken, there's like a little platform there with a little sign that says, "This is where Roger put his camera. You know, this is where Roger was standing filming." This, you know, little plaques and things all over the place saying, you know, this is where Bob was on his horse with his gun holding on to Roger's horse. And it was just, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you were saying we met with the Pendleton people.
Oh, so we met with the Pendleton people. And we got some really interesting things from there. We met some great folks who were going to see in the Pendleton area. The Mike J, who was started that group there, he just recently passed away, and the group is kind of wondering what to do next. So Hannah and I said we'd step up and try to fill Mike's shoes, which is hard to do, but
at least temporarily.
Yeah. So if you don't know who Mike J is,
he was actually kind of one of those unknown somebodies. He really was somebody in the Bigfoot world, just was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Much like Dar Addington.
Yeah. So if you ever, Sasquatch Among Us, I think was the name of the book written by John Green.
Mike is
mentioned in that book. So,
yeah. So anyway, there could be some exciting stuff coming here.
Yeah.
In the next few months.
Yeah. So
things that you can come to.
Yeah. So if you're in that area, Pendleton area, so we got some stuff coming up there.
Okay, we have a question in the chat.
Okay.
Scott and Hannah, this is from Mr. Lee 3PO.
Okay.
Scott and Hannah, I am new to your channel. Please tell me something of yourselves. You don't know what kind of Pandora's box you just opened with that.
Oh no. Okay.
Did we give him the Cliff Notes version?
Yeah, the Cliff Notes version. Okay. Cliff Notes version. I was born in the Blue Mountains. I was raised in the Blue Mountains. I saw the Patterson Gimlin film when I was 7 years old in the Blue Mountains. No, basically I've been hunting Bigfoot for 25 years. I've been public about it for 5 because I used to be an or yeah, longer, probably 6 now or 7.
8.
Oh my gosh, I'm old. Anyways,
Look at the glorious beard. It even has ringlets. He's so old. He's looking like Santa Claus now.
Yeah. So I worked in the academic world and stuff, so I couldn't really be vocal about it. I was an anthropologist,
and you're a veteran, and you're a drama guy.
Yeah, so I've had several careers in my life because I'm ADHD and I can't work with people very long.
Kind of cracks me up too.
Yeah. So I'm into Bigfoot, and that's it. In fact, if you watch Paranormal Highways podcast from earlier today, I was on there and pretty much explained everything.
When we moved to and I will so my brief history is I knew nothing about Bigfoot, didn't give a rat's behind about Bigfoot. I was a classically trained musician and a social worker, and most recently a public school choir teacher. And I saw the whole Bigfoot thing as his hobby, and I was fine with it being a hobby. However, when he had his sighting, and his sighting was in 2018, that's when we seriously started talking about going full time. When he retired in 2024 or 25, when 2020 happened, we said, screw it, let's just do it now. So that's how we did. And as a former social worker with a master of social work, lots of sociology background, I do more of the people-y work. Anyway, and we are affectionately known as the Ricky and Lucy of the Bigfoot world.
Yep. In fact, that was mentioned at the conference.
So yeah, Tobe says, "Oh my gosh, they've got a great marriage. Their humor is something else."
Yeah.
As I think we were cussing each other out for something.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
So Donna has a question.
It feels like Bigfoot research is taking a turning point and becoming more seclusion and micro-analyzed. Do you think it's because of social media exploitation? I don't totally understand the question.
I kind of do. I don't think it's becoming, well, it always was a little bit.
It's always been fringe.
But I think more recently, because of social media and because of all the Bigfooting shows, it's more mainstream than it used to be, and therefore it's more scrutinized than it used to be. And then some of these shows, I'm not going to mention any names, but they fake things on their shows to get views and stuff like that. And there's some, and I'm talking, that's like mainstream network stuff. A lot of the YouTubers and stuff, they're just out there trying to do the job, trying to do what we're doing, and just do the research and find the evidence. But
in all scientific research, you start very broad, and the further you go, the more microscopic you get.
And I think it's getting a little harder too to do this job, mainly because a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of hoaxing out there. I don't think there's as much hoaxing as people think there is. If there's hoaxing, it's usually done with Photoshop, and it's throwing pictures up on the social media. So don't believe everything you see, or even half of what or anything you see on the social media stuff. But the sign
of a true researcher, correct me if I'm wrong, really not like other famous people who say it, correct me if I'm wrong. The sign of true research, and a true researcher is someone that tries to prove themselves wrong. You always want to disprove yourself, and it's only when you cannot disprove it, then you move to the next step. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something we talk about when we're talking about people getting into this.
You have to have very, very thick skin.
You do. So, another thing too, and there's something that we do at Squatch America, because we're Americans, right? We want to cover America. We want to be a national Bigfoot research group. And like I said, we get reports from all over the United States all the time. And we can't be everywhere all the time. We wish we could, because we want to be on the road all the time. But one of the things that we have to rely on is a lot of you guys a lot of times. So if you would like to partner, I guess that's the word I was looking for, or just be a part of this,
let us know.
Let us know. I'm at squatchamerica@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and we'll get on a Zoom or chat or something. Because we had a guy in Washington kind of step up, and which I really needed. Does a lot of research up in what's the name of that place?
Washington's a big state, hon.
No, that lake they talked about.
Oh,
they find footprints
Frog
there.
Lake?
Frog Lake. I think it was Frog Lake. Yeah, it's just north of Mount St. Helens a little bit.
It's like the Detroit Lake of Washington.
Yeah, there's a lake here in Oregon, Detroit Lake, that's tons of activity, and that one up there is a place where people go and find prints almost all the time. So he's in that area. So when we get reports and stuff, I can send them to him, and he can interview the people or whatnot and get back to us. So
anyway, but
that's something we want you guys to be able to do too.
And so. Donna's in New England, and Christy for us is over in the Willamette Valley. One of the things,
Dale's in Maine.
and Scott's in Maine too. And we're going to be talking to Scott Dunbar tomorrow. By the way, Scott, we are not ham radio operators. We have the stuff. He keeps talking about it. He's been talking about it for 25 years.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he just hadn't done it yet. So, anyway, and I like to be liked. Thank you very much. Mr. Lee 3PO likes me.
That's awesome. And he's from London. So, do you know there's Squatches in Europe? So just letting you know.
You could be
Squatch America in England. That's a little weird.
An American, I know that. I'm trying to. An American, a Squatch American werewolf,
in London. An American Squatch in London. There we go.
An American Squatch in London.
There we go. That's Mr. Lee 3PO.
Okay, awesome. Someone's got to take us lightly and with great humor. I am dead serious about not taking myself seriously. Because the minute you take yourself seriously, you can't survive out there. You can't thrive. So
okay, cool. Anyway. And Dale says he's going to go see if he can get pictures of that spot.
Oh, I like Joe's idea. The British Bigfoot Report.
There we go.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
In partnership with Squatch America. Hey, if we could ever get over there, that would be so fun. But I'm not ready to try to go abroad yet.
Yeah.
No. I want to go abroad. I want to see the world, but right now I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I actually lived in Germany for 6 years and 2 years in Iraq. That was a lot of fun.
I am learning French because I hear that Canada just made it a little bit easier to cross the border again for those of us who were being shunned for various reasons.
Yeah, us purebloods. Okay.
Shh. Okay. There are Squatchers in Namibia. I'm sure there are.
In fact, a really good friend of mine who's from the Blue Mountains here, David Lundquist, is he's a Squatcher from way back in the day. And they are selling their place here in Oregon and moving to Patagonia. And
which is actually a real place.
Yeah, Patagonia actually has lots of Bigfoot legends down there. They have a name for it and everything. So,
yeah.
In fact, I have one of his T-shirts with the name of Bigfoot in Patagonian on it. So, from him. But
anyway,
really neat guy. Interesting guy, artist. And he's part of our group, so he's going to be Squatch America in Patagonia. In fact, I got a picture. Grab it.
Mr. Lee doesn't like to be called British. So little known fact, Mr. Lee. Okay, this is gonna. I grew up in. I don't know how to describe it. I grew up in a church that came from Britain. The Salvation Army church I grew up in has maintained its British culture something fierce. And so I grew up with a lot of British expats who came over here to be part of the church over here. But I'm very, very fond of Britain.
Okay.
Even though I've never been there.
All right.
And curry. That's why I love curry so much. And curry's Indian, but the British co-opted it.
Yeah. So yeah. The English.
You're English. Okay, you're English.
Okay, so do you see this? It's kind of hard. It's kind of shiny. But there you go. Do you see this huge Bigfoot? And this guy standing in front of him? That's David Lundquist. He's an artist. If you can see the paintings behind him and stuff there with all the Bigfoot paintings and stuff. He made that clay statue of a life-size Bigfoot.
Patterned after what he saw.
So he's like I said, he's an artist, and he's the guy that's moving to Patagonia.
And little known fact about him, he's not famous for his Bigfoot art.
No, he's not.
He's famous for his Grateful Dead art because he did all their album covers.
Yeah, this is the guy who drew the album covers for all the Grateful Dead albums. He's their artist. So
Brown Dwarf, I make the world's best curry. I would say ask Scott, but Scott hates curry because there's something deeply, deeply flawed in his character.
There is.
Yeah. Papa Z says, see, it's like a Brahma bull walking upright.
There you go.
It's true. Man, now I want to make it.
Yeah.
So, well, we are down to, oh my gosh, we're kind of just BSing and killing time at this point.
Right. So any questions about Bob?
You know what, John? I would love to learn Canadian French, but Duolingo does not have Canadian French.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe Babblefish or Babble or whatever. I don't know. If you can find an app that has Canadian French, I'd love to. I would love to learn Canadian French. But right now I can say, Je suis un chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go to my grave. I am a cat.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
David is, you know what? He is a really, really nice dude. And his wife is a total sweetheart. They are vegans.
Yeah, they're very hippie, if you want to put it that way. So, like I said, but yeah, Dave here, he drew all the album covers for the Grateful Dead. That's awesome. He's a deadhead.
Scott, I don't know if O Canada is in the key of A. I can sing it in any key, but I will say this. The Canadian national anthem is much better than the American national anthem. It is much more musical and singable. And so there is that. So,
John was talking about Canadian French. That's interesting.
I was talking about that.
Here's another thing. A lot of people don't know this, but the Acadians, I'm an Acadian French person myself.
They can't cook.
No, but the Acadian French, a lot of people don't know that up there in New Brunswick and whatever, the Ottawa and all that area, the French speaking people there.
I can't say bienvenue.
Yeah, so back in the 1700s, they kind of got genocide and they ran away and they landed in they grabbed some ships, commandeered some ships from the British and sailed around Florida, and the only place that let them land was Spain, who owned Louisiana at the time. So the Acadian French, which I am, down south, they're called Cajuns.
And they can cook.
So when I'm down south and people ask me what I am, I just say I'm a Cajun. So.
Oh, Canada is not a rewrite of America the Beautiful. They're not even similar. However, My Country 'Tis of Thee, that one, America, My Country 'Tis of Thee, Sweet Land of Liberty. That one, that is this. It's the same tune as God Save the
King.
poor king-like figure.
Anyway, gosh, we got off the.
That's because we're out of material, and now we're just talking, and we've got 5 whole minutes to fill up here.
So,
we both used to be preachers. We're not bad at that either. We can fill time, but
okay.
Just so you know, go to patreon.com/Squatch America. Join our Patreon memberships. The lowest tier is $5. When you do that, you get access to my proprietary Squatcher Popper recipe, the best jalapeno poppers on the planet. And those of you who have the recipe already, Joe, you know who you are. You are sworn to secrecy. You can make and serve them as much as you want, but do not give that recipe away.
Oh, and I'm glad you're on, Joe. There's something coming in the mail, and I want you to be very careful when you open it. Just saying. Okay. That's all I'm going to say there, Joe. All right. So, anyway, what else is happening? So, yeah.
Scott,
so
we'll be talking tomorrow, okay? He's typing in solfege. Leave it alone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
do I miss those days? I miss actually teaching music. Do I miss the public school fiasco? No.
So, anything else for the good of the order? Well, we got about 5 minutes to go ahead and throw any questions
this
you might have.
This is getting painful.
No, we've went all over the world. But anyway. Oh gosh, what else was I going to say? So anyway, we're going to have some fun guests coming up. I can throw that out to you. We're going to have what was her name? Hollyana Little Bull
and
from
Mel
the and Mel Skahan. Both of them are from the Yakima tribe. If anybody doesn't know who Mel is, you've probably seen him. He was on like the first season of Expedition Bigfoot as one of the interviewees they did. He's been on 5 or 6 different
it's
Bigfoot
better than that, Joe. You're gonna wet yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what?
Nothing. I don't want to use that word because bots might,
Yeah, it's possibly a bomb.
You just said it. I wasn't going to say the word.
No. An awesome bomb. Okay.
A bomb of awesomeness.
A bomb of awesomeness.
You'll wet yourself, I promise.
Yeah. So
anyway, we've got some cool guests. We met so many people. Tobe Johnson from the
Al Moon Project. Well, I'm going to have to figure out what all that is. Just if you ever watch that stuff,
it is beyond his 3-dimensional brain.
So we're going to have him on.
It's a glitter bomb. That's right.
And it's coming.
We should throw glitter in.
So anyway, he's going to be on. Like I said, those 2 guys on. Greg's coming back.
It is coming into winter, so
we're going to have a lot of guests because we're not going to be able to spend a lot of time in the woods. I am going out possibly this weekend to film some stuff, but other than that,
it's winter.
We
start traveling again at the end of January.
Yeah. So
knock on wood.
So if next time, if you can't make it over here in this area, the next thing that's happening for us is we're going to be at the Squatch Fest in Longview, Washington.
Kelso
Longview, Washington.
Yep, so if you can make it for that, that's fabulous. It's over on the southeast corner of Washington State.
Yeah, and then we're going to be doing Eugene, Medford, Roseburg, Anderson, California, on those sportsman shows,
and
then we're headed to
God willing, and the creek don't rise. We're headed to
Tennessee.
Maybe it's not the creek we need to worry about rising.
Yep, and we're going to stop off in Texas on the way to Tennessee.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Flat Rock. You're very flattering because I think like 15 minutes ago, it all just went south.
Yeah, so that's it.
All right.
All right,
Well,
we love you guys all.
I'll get back to the brand page.
Okay.
Click the buttons.
Okay.
As always, it's our job to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So you keep watching, and
we'll keep squatching.
see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And you lost the button
again. I lost the button again.